What is full coverage in Florida? Full coverage is kind of a misnomer, right? Like there's no such thing as full coverage. Full coverage might mean something different to me than it means to somebody worth $100 million. For them to be fully covered, they'd probably need $100 million in insurance coverage. If you're not worth $100 million, that number is going to be less. In Florida, the mandatory minimum insurance coverage is $10,000 in PIP, no fault insurance coverage. That only goes to pay your medical bills or your lost wages or mileage going to doctor's appointments. And the other mandatory minimum is $10,000 in property damage coverage. So as long as somebody has those two things, they can technically say they have full coverage. So if you get involved with somebody in an accident and at the accident scene, they're saying, hey, don't worry, I have full coverage, that doesn't really tell you a whole lot. You can look at their insurance card, and sometimes their insurance card will have boxes that are checked. And if that box says bodily injury coverage and it has a check next to it, they probably have bodily injury coverage as long as that's truly their insurance policy. You want to call the police always to make sure that the police come out and document who was involved in the accident and what their insurance coverages are. A lot of times when the police don't come, people give somebody a fake insurance card. That's a topic for a different video. But essentially, when we're talking about full coverage, the mandatory minimum is $10,000 in PIP and $10,000 in property damage. Above and beyond that, full coverage really and truly would mean if you were going to cover just yourself, it would mean that you have collision coverage on your car. So whether or not you're at fault for an accident, they're going to pay for it. You have comprehensive coverage. So if a tree falls on your car, your insurance company is going to pay for it. You have bodily injury coverage. That is coverage that protects somebody else if you cause an accident and you hurt them. You have uninsured motorist coverage, which protects you if you get hit by somebody who doesn't have enough insurance coverage or doesn't have any insurance coverage at all. You have rental coverage so that if your car has to get repaired, you can get a rental car while it's getting repaired. You may have an umbrella policy, right, that covers above and beyond your bodily injury policy limits. So when somebody tells you they have full coverage, I have a lot more questions because full coverage means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. The bottom line is if you have questions about your insurance policy or another person's insurance policy after an accident, don't guess. Call us. We'll tell you what the facts are. And the facts are what their insurance company's declarations say. So after an accident, we sign somebody up, we send a letter to the insurance company saying, hey, give us a copy of that policy. Under Florida law, they have to give us a copy of the policy with the declarations, and they tell us what all the coverages are. So rather than guessing, we can look at those documents and tell you, hey, as your lawyer, I'm telling you, this is how much insurance coverage they have. To you, that might not be full coverage. But if they have $1 million and your case is worth less than $1 million, you might be able to be fully covered by that. We'll also take a look at your insurance policy. Same thing, we send them a letter and say, hey, please give us a copy of our insurance, of our client's insurance documents. And we'll take a look at that and we'll run you through that and we'll tell you, hey, here's what coverages you do have, here's what coverages you don't have, and here's things you might think about adding in the future. So again, don't guess, call us. We offer a free confidential case evaluation and it's free unless you win. So really there's no risk to calling us and letting us answer whatever questions you have about insurance coverage after a car accident.